Welcome to the Michigan Runner Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
Okay, everyone. Gary Morgan with the Michigan Runner, and we have our legendary runner here, Mark Bauman, owner of Bauman's Running Store, who's now going to do his 50th Boston Marathon. He ran his first one in 1970. A little bit different scenario back then. So, Mark, what was it like running your first marathon and your first completed marathon here in Boston in 1970?
Oh, it was a huge thrill. I mean, to be able to do that as a 20-year-old, run the legendary Boston Marathon. I mean, there were 1,000 people there, and that was about 1,000, and that was huge at that time. And crowd support was even good at that time.
You said that you had been running at Mott Community College back then, and you ran one marathon before then that you didn't finish.
Yeah, that was 1968. I ran on Belle Isle, which was laps on Thanksgiving Day.
And so, what did you do? What was your first, when you ran the marathon here in 19, what was your time?
Time the first year was 2 hours and 45 minutes.
So that was pretty quick back then. What place did you finish?
If I recall right, I was right around 113, something like that.
Okay. And how many people you think ran that year?
Yeah, about 1,000, I would guess.
So, how much did the entry fee cost?
Oh, I don't remember what it was, but I'm guessing it was $5, maybe $10. No shirt.
It was $6 when I ran 81.
Okay, so it was probably somewhere in that range.
And back then, no medal and no shirt.
No medal, no shirt, and no water stops.
Right. Yep. Nothing.
And no mile marks.
No mile.
The only mile marks per se was there was a little triangular sign in the middle of the towns as you went through, and it would say 24.2 miles to go, 18.6 miles to go. And that's the old course record split times. Those are still out there. The fastest times at those points. Now it's, different marks, 10, 15, or 20 mile marks.
Where are they located on the course now?
On
the road? Or
no, they're not there anymore.
Oh, they were
the
there.
Old ones. That's the old ones. Now it's regular mile marks.
Right, yeah, right from start to finish. And when you went up there that day in 1970, how did you get up there? Did you stay in Boston and go up there? Did you drive your own car, or how'd that go?
There was a group of us from Flint who came down. We stayed at the YMCA here in Boston. Me being the youngest, I was the odd man out, so I slept on the floor. One of the guys who wasn't running drove us out to the start. And actually, at that time, they beat us back in, and they saw us a couple times on the course, which there's no way you could do anything like that now.
Yeah, and so you guys drove yourselves out there. Then how did you go out back and get the car?
No, they're one of the guys who was not running took us out there.
Okay,
yes.
And then back, what was Hopkinton like back then compared to now?
Oh, it's just a little hick town, and we started around the corner from where we start now, and it was just a gun, and you were off and running.
And where'd you go to the bathrooms back then? What did you use to?
You had to be creative.
Yes. Okay. And so as it's changed over the years, and we'll go back to 75. You told me that was your PR. You told me you ran 2:30 on this course. What was it, an exceptional day weather-wise, or you're in great shape? How did you run your 2:30?
Yeah, it was a very good day. Nice, weather for a marathon, and I was in very good shape that year. And just the difference between years, the next year, 76, it was very hot, and I ran 15 minutes slower, and I was like 8 places further back.
Well, people have got wind of what to do
with the heat the next year.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And so as it's changed over the years, and we'll go back to 75. You told me that was your PR. You told me you ran 2:30 on this course. What was it, an exceptional day weather-wise, or You're in great shape. How did you run your 2:30 here?
Yeah, it was a very good day. Nice, weather for a marathon, and I was in very good shape that year. And just the difference between years, the next year, 76, it was very hot, and I ran 15 minutes slower, and I was like 8 places further back.
Well, people have got wind of what to do.
With the heat the next year.
Yeah. Okay. So, so in 75, I'm trying to think of one, but in 77 you ran, that's when Bill Rogers had his string of 4 victories, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
And,
I believe that. Yeah, that would have been right around that time, yes.
So now we're right here in one of the squares, about 1 block from the convention center. We got thousands of people just waiting to go into the convention. Was there even an expo back then?
Oh, no, there was no expo at that time. Actually,
where did you pick up your number at?
Oh, I don't even remember. And the numbers had nothing but a number on it.
Yeah.
And you wore it front and back. I do remember that.
Front and back, okay.
And we finished near where we're standing now, parallel to the road here. There was a service drive here. We finished in this area and went across where we're standing and up an escalator into the building.
Okay, well, when I ran in 81, which was a few years after, we got a bagel and a cup of soup and sat down in the garage of the Prudential building.
Oh,
did
yes.
you ever do that?
Yes, we did the garage. Yes.
So you got a soup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we had soup that year. There was soup up somewhere up in one of the buildings.
And you were saying there was no water stops when you first originally ran either.
Oh, no, there was nothing. No mile marks, no water stops. The only thing would have been the little triangles in the towns on the way.
Did any of the spectators offer people water?
Oh, yeah, spectators did, especially on the hot days. Well, one tradition that some people would do on the course is they would say, as you run along, 10 more miles to go, and you'd go another 100 feet, and someone would say, 12 more miles to go. Go another 100 feet, someone would say 8 more miles to go. So you couldn't trust, anybody along the course.
Right, yeah. Well, now that you're in the modern era, obviously thousands of more people, the whole deal. When you're out there running, lots more spectators. What else do you notice? Have they done a lot of building along the course?
Oh yeah, it's definitely built up. The spectators are phenomenal now. I mean, the towns are packed. In between the towns, there are a lot of people. The aid stations are great. All the support, the medical out there, they just do a phenomenal job of putting this event on.
Well, when you ran it back in the 70s, was there a lot of barren land between?
Actually, at that time, the one of the newspapers, maybe all of them, would print everybody's name and number, and people would have that with them along the course, and they would look you up as you're coming by and say, "Go, Mark!"
Oh, pretty cool.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, and when did they start having an expo? Do you remember?
I'm going to guess it was probably the early 80s. There was an expo.
And then what year did they start giving out medals?
Ooh, that I don't remember.
20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to guess 20, 25 years ago, medals.
Yeah. And same thing for the T-shirt?
Shirts probably a little more than the medals. They used to be a cotton shirt, and now they're a tech shirt.
Yeah, and prices escalated to almost $200.
Yeah, it's almost $200 now. Yeah. Well worth it, though.
But, yes. Back then, was there any police anywhere other than just a couple here and there?
Well, they were kind of blocking the side streets.
Okay,
I don't recall traffic ever crossing in front of me when I would run back then.
Side streets. That
right.
Was it.
Yeah, keep the side streets.
And maybe one car in the front, cop car in the front.
Probably, yeah, and the press truck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just trying to think. So, and not a big banner to run underneath when you finished, was there?
No, there was nothing. It was just
like
a finish line.
Yeah, it was like a line on the street.
Right.
It was almost like that in 81.
Right.
Well, so if you were to say, do you like running the marathon in the modern era or in the 70s when it was just, it was all about running that?
Well, the 70s were better for me because I ran faster.
Right.
I mean, I'm going through halfway now and looking at my watch saying, I was done at this time when I was younger.
Well, we all do that.
Yes. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Right. And of course, having 8 out there makes a big difference.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, definitely.
It'd be hard for us to run a marathon without 8 now.
Yes, it would. Yes,
And,
definitely.
So, well, now you're going to run number 50 in 2 days. What are you kind of thinking about? All the memories. What was your greatest experience of running this marathon?
Greatest would have to be cross the finish line with your PR.
Yeah. And then what was your biggest disappointment?
Biggest disappointment here, oh, this is a tough one because it was the first time I got beat by a female.
What year was that?
Oh, I don't remember what year it was, but she passed me with about 3 miles to go, and I wasn't feeling very well.
Yep.
And there was probably 6 or 8 guys with her, and I tried to stay with her too, doing the same thing they were doing, and I bet she beat me by the 6 minutes in that last 3 or 4 miles because after she took off from me, I was done.
Yeah, that was a Patty Catalano.
Could have been.
Benoit came a little bit after that.
Yeah, it was before Benoit.
Yep, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they were all in that 240. In fact, Patty Catalano ran 230 something. Yeah, some of them in the late 70s, early 80s were starting to run fast. And, you know, other than that, I mean, now that you're going to, like I said, run it your 50th time, one other thing, what was the worst weather day you ever ran this race, you think?
Well, for me, the worst weather was a few years ago when it was, 80, 90 degrees out on the course
super hot.
at my age. I'd ran it at hotter temperatures prior to that, but I was younger and I could handle it more. But even last year was not the worst for me, even though it was terrible weather. It's the heat is the worst for me.
What was your best weather day, you think, for you?
Probably PR.
75. That
yeah,
was
probably
nice weather.
75. Yes.
That'd be a real nice one. Well, you got a million memories, and you're going to create one for on Monday. Are you going to do anything special before you start the race, or in the next 2 days, or after the race, or anything special to commemorate 50 times of running Boston Marathon?
Just relax beforehand. Actually, I have 2 kids. 5 grandkids, 2 brothers, their spouses.
They're all here?
2 sisters and their spouses, and nieces, nephews out here. So we'll go out to eat, Monday night. Hopefully I get in time for when our reservation is.
Be a big party.
Be a big party, yes.
Well, that'll be awesome. Well, it's been a lifetime of memories, and thank you for sharing some of your great experiences, the Boston Marathon with us. Wish you all the best of luck. And the question is this going to be your last one?
I don't plan for it to be my last one.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. And you are the second longest streak person of doing this right
Currently, yes.
now. There was one other guy's got 51. I
Yes. No, 52.
What's his name?
Ben Beach.
And where's he from?
I believe he's from Maryland.
From where?
Maryland.
Maryland. Well, maybe off date for 52. You
Yeah.
guys are probably got to be the same age.
Yes.
Got to be 72.
He's
70.
He's same age as I am, 69, and he started at 18. I started at 20.
And what do you think? What type of time you gonna run?
Oh, it'll be slow.
6 hours.
It'll be over 6 hours.
Okay. Well, good luck. Have fun, and you've created lifetime memories for us in Michigan. And it's been great all these years. So hopefully there'll be plenty more.
Thank you.
Awesome.